Reading Pioneers is proud to present The Month of Christmas, How It Began, created by C. Mice. A Journey. I am Santa's mouse. I am going to tell you about the month of Christmas. Here is my tale. It is all true, of course. I hope you like it. In a time before time began, some travelers embarked on a long journey. It was a moonlit night, and Old Man Winter had just brought the first snow of the season. The party left the enchanted forest at 1/2 past yesterday and arrived at a quarter till tomorrow. They all love the cold and snow, as do the reindeer they brought with them. The place they settled in is called the North Pole by some. For safety, the Nutcracker and his soldiers lead the way. No one was sure what they would find. They were accompanied by 5 fairies. Their magic made the Nutcracker's sleigh easily glide along in the new fallen snow, almost like it was flying. Behind them were a dozen elves in a large sleigh pulled by reindeer. There were 2 woodworkers, 2 cobblers, 2 tailors, 2 bakers, 2 confectioners, and 2 reindeer keepers. All were masters of their craft. Other elves came along, also in sleighs pulled by reindeer. They were helpers for the craftsmen elves. Dashing through the snow in one reindeer open sleigh, over the fields they went, laughing all the way. The bells on the reindeer rang and made their spirits light. It was so much fun. All the elves sang a sleighing song that night. Jingle bells. Did you know Jingle Bells was written down in 1857 by James Lord Pierpont? As the elves tell it, one snowy evening, Pierpont was half asleep when he heard bells and 2 little voices outside his window singing. The voices were those of 2 elves returning from a shoemaker's house. As their sleigh skimmed over the newly fallen snow, they sang, "Jingle bells, jingle bells." Pierpont then fell asleep. When he woke up, he wrote down the song as he remembered it. Did he dream it all? In the last sleigh was a jolly old elf and his wife. His name is Santa Claus, and he is a master of all crafts. He is especially skilled at making toys. He was also the elf that all the others looked up to because he was kind and generous, as was his wife. His sleigh was pulled by 8 tiny reindeer. His dog, Fudge, sat in the front of the sleigh. Upon arriving at the North Pole, the elves built houses for themselves, and barns and corrals for the reindeer. To light and warm their homes, the elves catch sunbeams. The sunbeams come through their windows and form a sun bead in jars on tables. As it becomes dark, the sunbeams glow with a warm, soothing light. When it is time for bed, the elves cover them to make the rooms dark. A sunbeam can glow for up to a week from 1 hour of sun. Sunbeams also go down the chimneys when the sun is directly overhead. Each fireplace has a glass door that keeps the sunbeams from coming in the room. The sunbeams warm the elves' homes all year long at the cold North Pole. The elves also built shops where they practiced their crafts. The woodworkers make toys. The cobblers make shoes. The tailors make clothes. The bakers make cookies and cakes. And the confectioners make the finest candies. The five fairies who accompany the elves from the enchanted forest are the blue fairy, yellow fairy, green fairy, pink fairy, and orange fairy. They are all sisters and love the sugar plums that the confectioners make. The elves call them the sugar plum fairies. They can appear anywhere in the world in the blink of an eye. One day, eons after arriving at the North Pole, the Green Fairy was in Turkey. She saw an old man with a white beard, wearing a long red gown. He was carrying a large red bag and would stop and give each child he met a gift. Some gifts were toys, other gifts were food for those who were very hungry. Still, others were clothes or shoes for the children in rags. The man's name was Saint Nicholas. Upon returning to the North Pole, the Green Fairy called a meeting. She told everyone about Saint Nicholas. In the enchanted forest, the elves had done something similar. They gave things they made to the needy. A tailor elf said, "We made clothes to help the woman who lives in a shoe with so many children she doesn't know what to do." Mrs. Claus continued, "And I brought them food so they would have more to eat than bread without any broth before they went to bed." A woodworker elf told his story. "I made a puppet that looked like a boy for a poor old wood carver who wanted a son." The blue fairy continued, "And I made the puppet come alive. I told him if he behaved, I would turn him into a real boy. After some troubles, he straightened up, and now he is a real boy. The wood carver is so happy, as is the boy." One baker elf said, "We made dog biscuits for old Mother Hubbard. When she looked in her cupboard, she had none, and her dog was so hungry." The other said, "We also gave a poor hungry dog a bag of biscuits. I heard on his way home he went over the troll bridge and looked in the river. He saw himself and thought it was another dog with biscuits. The troll jumped up and scared him. The dog dropped the bag. Too bad. The troll ate all the biscuits and left. Trolls are so troublesome." The elves decided they wanted to be like Saint Nick. They liked helping others when they lived in the enchanted forest. One elf suggested, "We could give away all the things we make to children around the world." All the elves cheered in agreement. But how? The world is a big place, and they were not magic like the fairies, who could appear in far-flung places instantly. The orange fairy said, "We can help. We can make reindeer fly. An elf will be able to travel the world in a sleigh pulled by the reindeer and deliver gifts in one night or faster." The elves thought this was a grand idea, but who would deliver the gifts? One elf said, "It should be Santa. He is the kindest and most generous of all." The elves cheered. Santa said, "Thank you. I would be honored to do this. Ho, ho, ho." The elves cheered once again. A tailor elf said, "And we will make you red clothes like Saint Nicholas, all trimmed in white." And that is how Santa got his red suit. So, now you know how Christmas began. The elves work all year and have a special month of activities leading up to Christmas Day. It is called the month of Christmas. The month of Christmas is a busy and fun time at the North Pole. There are 25 days in this month. During Christmas month, everyone who lives at the North Pole is busy making gifts, delicious treats, and doing fun activities. For Santa and all the elves, gifts are a way of giving. They believe Christmas is about giving, not getting. Happy Holidays from Reading Pioneers. This video is part of The Month of Christmas, a book series by Sea Mice, who asked me to read the entire series on this YouTube channel. While this is only one part of the book, you can find out what happens next by subscribing and staying tuned until December 25th, which is when I will finish with the entire book series. That's right. Every day for the next 4 weeks, I will be uploading a story about Christmas. The best part is, this series can be found on Barnes & Noble, Apple Books, and many other platforms for free. Yes, free! Links are available in the description box below so you can grab a copy of this part and all of the others right now. Also, please support the channel by liking the video and sharing it with your friends and family. If you have a book you'd like to be read on this channel, please send me an email, contact@readingpioneers.com, so we can turn it into the next video. Unfortunately, this is it for today. I can't wait to show you the next part of the series, so stay tuned, and thanks again, readers, for joining us today. Until next time, I hope you all have an amazing day. Bye-bye!